Welcome back to the channel. I'm in the shop again, working on the 460, hopefully one step closer to getting it out of here. And the thing that is most important on the list is getting this wheel painted. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm at least gonna start it, get it painted, maybe get one coat on it, and let that dry, cure, and then we'll throw another coat, maybe even 2 coats on there just to see how it looks. And I just picked up some generic white, so hopefully it kind of matches the white that's on here. I can't imagine it'd look too much out of place, but you never know. So I'll do that, and then we'll have to throw the tire on, then the tube, get all that stuff mounted. And we need to make sure, because of leaving these brackets on here and those plates, that we do mount the tire the correct direction. Because that would be catastrophic if I ended up mounting that the incorrect way and then I gotta take it all back off. That would suck. So I'll try and get a coat on here quick. I have the shop in here warm. The wheel should be warm, paint should be warm. I don't know that I'm gonna paint it in here. I don't have a respirator, so we might take it outside quick and maybe just roll it back in, because I am not going to paint this side of it. I'm not gonna worry about that. Not too bad for the first coat. It is colder out here than I would like, so I'm gonna roll it back into the shop here so it can dry and cure better. Obviously, there's definitely gonna be some touching up we have to do. We missed quite a bit there, but for the first coat, it'll do. Well, it's a couple days later. I have a total of 3 coats on this wheel. And I'm not gonna lie, it turned out a lot better than I was anticipating. So definitely a plus there. I could probably put another coat on it, but I think we're just gonna hold off and kind of let it how it is for right now. There are that thin spot there, which we could build that up, but I don't really think I have to. So now I was thinking about this, whether I want to try and put the tire on the way it is. I think what I'm going to do, however, is we're going to roll this in here, orient it the way it needs to be, and mount it on the center, the wheel and the rim just by itself, and get it all fastened on there. And then we'll bring the tire in, and I think we're just going to get a lot more leverage and be able to do a little bit more with getting the tire on there. I think it's just going to work a lot better for us. So I think that's the goal. We'll see how that works out. And I have seen people changing big tires before, and they usually they leave the wheel on here. So I mean, it makes the most sense on a tractor to me anyway. So I'll do that. The other thing I have to do, once that's on and we're good to go there, I'm gonna have to move this wheel and tire, because for some reason they had it offset. Move this one back in. I could move that one out just to match this one, but this one actually sticks past the front tire, so I don't think it's gonna work very well for like row crops or spraying corn or anything like that. So I'm just gonna bring this one in to match this side, and we'll see what that does for us, but we'll worry about that when it comes time. I'm gonna roll the wheel in here, and we're gonna throw it on the center and see how well it fastens with these new bolts. Also, if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. It is free, it doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me out greatly with the channel. And thank you all who are all subscribed already. Thank you to everybody who watches the videos. I definitely appreciate it, very much so. Now, let's get back to the video. Another good thing with putting the wheel on the center is we're gonna have the wheel proportioned how it needs to go. So we're gonna make sure that while we're mounting the tire, that is also the right direction, versus if we'd be doing it on the floor, you have a 50-50 shot that you could install it wrong. Oh, we scuffed the paint already. Not too shabby. And again, I don't have to take these off, which is kind of nice. Does it look dumb? Yeah, maybe. But it's not really for looks. We're not completely doing a restoration on this tractor, but we are making it better. But those really, they don't matter. So I need to snug all them up, get this everything tight with this, and then we'll be able to come in, bring the tire in, and try and get this thrown together to where we can set it back down, move that side, and at that point, we're gonna be really, really close to getting this thing out of the shop. I did check the radiator again down here at the bottom. It did feel a tad wet. I don't know. I mean, if it is leaking, I don't know. We're gonna have to run it and see for a little while. Hopefully it's not, but if it is, that's something from it being made, because I didn't hit this one with anything. Let's bring the tire in and see how well this goes. There's the tire. There is a direction arrow on here, right there. So direction of travel is this way. So that should be correct. Now I just gotta get it on there. Look at that. That actually was not as bad as I was anticipating it was going to be. That's a huge plus. Definitely big plus. Obviously, we're not out of the woods yet, because I have to get the tube in here and then get this bead back over, which is probably going to be the worst part, and not pinch the tube. So we're definitely a step in the right direction anyhow. Here's the tube. Let me say, these babies aren't cheap. Not even a little bit. Oh boy. Come on, baby. I don't like that sound of air. I hope that was the tire relieving air and not... Oh, this is what's whistling. Huh. You almost had me. This was a long, drawn-out process. That's for sure. What I did not take into consideration when doing this and mounting the wheel up here is by having the valve stem right here out the back, we can only put our tire on the front. Typically, you put your tire on, you get it out over. When you put your tube in, you'd have your hole right here, you'd poke your valve stem through and you'd be good to go. In this case, I had to do it completely backwards, try and line it up. We had to move it. And then you have to basically start this bead on this side just to get it through. So that was not very fun at all. I'm just really hoping, because I had to pop the tube out numerous times and do a bunch of things and rearrange numerous times. I'm really hoping I did not pinch the tube, number one. And number two, I'm just hoping I didn't tear it or slice it somehow. That's my biggest fear right now, because that tube's like $80 or $90. Here is the moment of truth. Cross your fingers. Well, she is officially sitting on her own four wheels again. I took the blocking out, the jack stand, everything's out. It's sitting on everything. Obviously, if we pinched it and there's a very small, minute leak, we may not notice it right away, and that's gonna be very unfortunate, but knock on wood, we have about 16 pounds in it right now there. And everything looks pretty good. The only thing I have noticed is this portion down here has not really came out like I was hoping. So I'm just gonna let it sit here under pressure for a little while. Sometimes this sidewall will continue to close up and that gap will get better, but time will tell. We'll let it sit here and see if that happens. If it doesn't, then we may jack it up again and try and get that evened up a little bit better. But other than that, it's seated in the bead really well. So that's definitely a huge plus. And like I said, knock on wood, so far it is holding air. Now, the tractor does have a uniform look. These are the same tires now. They're both 13.6 instead of one being 13.6 and this one being 15. I think the other one was 15.5 or whatever they are. So it was definitely a lot wider, and we have a much better wheel on here now. So everything with this turned out really nice. So I'm definitely happy about that. At this point, that is one huge step forward. That is something that obviously I've been dreading doing for, well, a long time. Let's just say that, because I didn't know how it was gonna go. We managed to get this tire off of that other rim, and now we have that back on. So at this point, that was the biggest thing holding us back. Now we got to get the rest of the shrouds and all that on with the body. Button up. I need to get a fuse for the wiring here, and then we can put all that stuff in. I know the battery needs a charge. Clamp the exhaust. And this thing is very close to being backed out of the shop. I do still have to drain the fluids, change the fluids, attach the rear drawbar. But again, all that stuff is very minimal compared to what I had to deal with this. And this did not go as bad as I was anticipating. I was really anticipating that being bad, but that's not the mindset to have. Should come into it with a positive attitude, and it worked out. So thank you guys so much for watching. We are getting very, very close with this. So I'm getting excited, and unfortunately I painted a little bit of the tire, but that'll buff out. As always, if you're not subscribed to the channel, be sure to do that. Like the video, share it with a friend. I hope you have a great day, and stay tuned for the next video. We are getting very, very close. I don't think by the next video we're gonna have this thing out, but maybe within 2 videos, this thing will be out, and not necessarily put to work because it is winter time, but it'll be put in the shed and we can get something else in here and clean this mess up. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.